Alright, so you're a gamer. Maybe you play competitive esport. Maybe you're a casual, and you're looking for the best mouse possible. Maybe you've been stuck on like an old G502 or something for the last like year or so. Who knows? I don't know what situation you're in, but you're looking for a new mouse. Which one should you get? Should you go with the most expensive, ball out, spend 300 Canadian on Final Mouse ULX? Or should you go cheaper, like a Lamzood Lannis, which is only like 140 CAD? Um, or do you stick with just the tried and true, the G Pro Superlight? Well, I'm here to help answer that question. I'm going to go over the pros and cons, some issues I've had with these mice. Yeah, and I'm just going to go over what mouse would be the best pick for all different budgets. Since this pretty much hits the like 90% of budgets out here. We got the little bit cheaper, got the very expensive, and we got somewhere in the middle. Oh, by the way, this is a Superlight 1. This is a Lamzood Lannis 4K, and this is a ULX line. The second batch. So it doesn't have the first batch issues or anything like that. So yeah, let's get right into it. So I guess I'm going to start off with the mouse I have least experience on, the Lamzood Lannis. Yeah, just a note there, I haven't used this mouse a ton. But out of the little experience I have on it, it has not had any issues actually. The only thing I guess is the scroll wheel is just not up to my liking. It's a little bit too heavy and not very thocky. I like a bit more of a thocky scroll wheel. This one's a little bit mushy. It's not the best. The click is fine, but yeah, it's not my favorite. The mouse clicks are really nice though. The Huano Blue Shell Pink Dots are perfect. They're my favorite mouse switch. Side button, same thing. Really good quality. The feet have held up for like the week I used it. Yeah. Overall, this is a very good mouse if you want something that's 4K, is cheaper, and you don't want to break the bank and spend $500. But nowadays, I guess 4K Hertz is actually getting a lot easier to come by on cheaper gaming mice, which is awesome. But this is more like up there, I guess, nowadays. So moving on to the mouse I've been maining for the last, ever since I got it in January, the Final Mouse ULX. This is a really good mouse. As you can tell by how freaking dirty it is, I've been using this a ton. And it is awesome. Like, the scroll wheel is great. I love it. The clicks on it are nice. Yes, would I rather the Blue Shell Pink Dots on the newer models? Yes. But the Omrons, they're fine. They work. They sound good. Side buttons, Final Mouse fashion, they're really well done. I don't think I've had a bad Final Mouse side button out of the three I own. The skates have held up really well, like there's no wear and tear, just some dirt around them, which is to be expected. And there is very little buildup, see right here, of hair. It's not really focusing. But it's not a huge buildup of hair or anything there, or dirt, because this was the batch afterwards, after they fixed it. So there's just a little bit of dust on one of the corners. Other than that, it's perfect. Yeah, and one issue that I have had with this mouse is that sometimes it doesn't turn off. Like when it goes to sleep, the dongle will when it's about to go to sleep, it slowly fades out the color, and then right when it like fades out completely, it just turns back on. Dongle turns back on, the mouse blinks. You've probably seen it. It does it like when you just leave it, and then what you have to do to fix it is just you have to do it once, wait for it to turn off, and then see if it like turns back on again, and that's what you have to do. It is really annoying, because one time I was about to go on a trip for a week, and I came back one last time just to grab something from my desk, and my mouse was doing it. And I was like, oh my god, I would have came back to a dead mouse. So I just had to sit there for a couple minutes trying to get it to turn off, and then it finally turned off, so then I left. Just a little annoying. Again, I'm hoping for a firmware update or something. I don't know where those are. I've been checking the website every few weeks to see if something comes out, but nothing has. So I don't know if I'm missing something or what's going on there, but yeah. Okay, I don't know if it's like my computer, but like the battery life on this seems a little bit worse than like what other people are getting. Because like, yeah, 1K would probably be great. It'd last like a week and a half, 2 weeks, is my guess. Maybe upwards of a little over 2 weeks, depending. But We know Final Mouse, they have really good batteries, and they always have really solid efficiency, and they always last a really long time. It's like, if you want a mouse that just goes and goes, just get a Final Mouse. These things do not die. But I swear for me, I don't know if it's my computer, but it doesn't last as long as I would hope. I've never tried it on 1K, I've always had it on 2K, but I feel like it should last a little bit longer on 2K, because I think it lasts about a week. If someone can confirm that in the comments, I don't know how long like a 2K mouse should last, but I feel like it should last a teeny bit longer, maybe like a week and a couple days. Just me. It's just nitpicking. You know, I spend $300, I gotta get the perfect mouse. Anyway. So moving on to the most experience I have on a mouse. The G Pro Superlight. My first real gaming mouse. Actually, no, my second. The first one was the original G Pro. My second was the Superlight. This thing's a tank. This thing just lasts. It just goes and goes and goes. The only thing that did not last was the skates. Those things went after a few months, but I replaced them. Not a single thing has been done to this. It's perfect. I think there's a little bit creaking on the sidewalls. I cannot get it. Nah, I can't actually even get it to creak. Okay, it's showing up for the video. It wants to make a good impression. I would say the scroll wheel, it's nice and notchy. A little bit mushy, but that could just be of use. I'd say the least satisfying clicks on these Omrons. Side buttons, mushy. Super light side buttons, they're mid. I guess a weight comparison for all three, because I actually haven't talked about the weight yet, this is the lightest at 44 grams? This is 51. This is 63. One thing that I did miss was what kind of grip style works with each of these different mice. I kind of talked about the the Lamzu, but I kind of glossed over the Logitech and the Final Mouse. More or less, they're kind of the same. Just the medium, the line is a little bit smaller. It shows up here, length and width-wise, and it's about a couple millimeters shorter. And the mouse clicks to the mouse pad is also a bit lower as well. Then I would suggest the Final Mouse if you have the money to spend it. If you have a little bit bigger hand size, like a medium to large, the Logitech will definitely work better for you. This might feel a little bit too small in the hand if you have like a large hand size, but depending on your grip, like if you fingertip and you have like huge size hands, then yeah, you'll be fine. But it definitely does depend on your hand size, but this is better for medium hands. I'd say like small to medium. If you're gonna get the small, the cheetah, then you need like small to medium hands, and if you have large hands, good luck. Because even medium hands, the best you probably could do is a very stretched claw or a fingertip. And that's all you can really do on the smallest size. But for me, it's kind of weird because I have smaller sized hands. But for me, the small was a bit too small with the way I grip my mouse, because I like this part of my hand resting on the mouse, usually about here-ish, which allows me to just have a bit more of a stable feeling. Because if I regular claw, that's just too much and I can't really move my hand. But if I fingertip, I have no support, and it sometimes becomes a little bit hard to like stabilize during while shooting in Siege, like if I'm trying to control recoil. So if while I'm moving around, I'll fingertip, and then when I'm about to get into a gunfight, I'll immediately kind of move my hand down a little bit while controlling recoil into the back of my hand right here, just to stabilize it. It works better on this mouse because it's a little bit bigger, and comparing where the sensor is, this one is a little bit higher. So when I aim with this mouse, with the line, the sensor is a little bit lower. So that does affect my aim a little bit, but on the small, it affected it even more. And another thing I also glossed over was the build quality of all three of these mice. This has a little bit of creaking and flexing at the back here. Right about on this top part, it's not bad. There's oh. When pressing the base, it makes a creaking noise, but that's to be expected. There's also a little bit of flex. I think it was right here or something, if I remember correctly. Nope. So right here, there's a little bit of a space, but you literally cannot see it on this camera at all. So, does not affect me in game. If you were death gripping your mouse palm grip like this, maybe, but you'd have to be like gripping in the worst way possible. Lamzu is completely solid. I can't get it to creak. Oh, the very front got a little creak. Other than that, nothing. Yep, just a teeny bit of creaking on the Lamzu. Perfect build quality. If I start using this for like 2 or 3 years straight, maybe a little bit more, like the Logitech, but when this thing was out of the box, there was a bit of creaking on the sides, like you'd press it once or twice, it'd creak, and then it'd stop. It never developed anything further than that. I think that was everything that I missed in the initial part. This is already up to 6 minutes, so this is going to be a long video. But yeah, cut back to the original video now. So yeah, but overall, if I had to pick which mouse I would main, like if I had to just chuck 2 of these out of the window right now, I would most likely probably choose the ULX because it's overall the most well-rounded, and it's the best shape for me as well. The G Pro Superlight is what I got used to, so that shape was kind of just ingrained in my brain, so I usually aimed the best with this because it's just what I got used to. The Lamzu Atlantis was too different for me. The indents, right here, how it goes in, not less vertically, like how it curves in on the side here, that's fine. It's more so the fact that if I can get this to show. I guess you can kind of see there how it curves in there. It curves in downwards, I guess you could say. It's supposed to give that locked in feeling, but for me, it's just too much. It forces my hand into a position. I feel like every like 20 or 30 seconds I'm readjusting because it just doesn't really fit. It's a great mouse. If you're like a diehard claw, like this is perfect for you. But for me, just since I'm a fingertip claw hybrid, it just doesn't really work. I would have to say, I guess, a downside to this mouse is the fact that it's like the major enthusiast mouse. You're not gonna, like some person who's just like playing like T4, like lower down competitive, or just, you know, just having fun day in, day out. I would recommend these two, 100%. You do not need to spend the extra money to get this. It's not worth it. Like, these two are so close to this, there's just no point. But if you're an enthusiast and you're looking for that few percent, just that little bit of an edge, if you want it, I'd say go for it. I'm not going to recommend you go out and pay scalper prices. I know they have been doing more drops lately. I think there was one just a couple weeks ago for the Asu. This is not a mouse that you need tomorrow or in your life today. It's not needed. You want something good? Just buy one of these two. These two categories of gaming mice, I guess others that would fit into this is like the Razer lineup, Death Rider V3, Viper V2 Pro, all the new stuff. I've heard a couple new Viper products have been coming out, but I don't know anything about them. Again, ones that would be in like the cheaper category, like the Pulsar. But I guess another important thing to note is what comes in the box. Because it's Final Mouse, they don't offer a lot. They offer a cable, grips, and that's like it. And they throw in a dongle if you're lucky. That was a joke. But yeah, they don't give you a lot of extra goodies like how Lamzu do. Like, I got 2 or 3 sets of skates, grips, like, and a really, really nice box. I have it over there with all my other all my mouse box just kind of sitting up there as a showpiece, and it's the most well-built box. It's really nice. Like, with extra point to Lamzu for their packaging. W experience. So if I had to recommend a mouse for this category, if you just want a good mouse, I'd say the Lamzu Maya, since you're getting 4K. It's still, overall, you could just run it on 1K or 2K, which is what I would recommend for great battery life, and you still get great performance. That's what I would recommend for a category like this. Atlantis or Pulsar, if you know like what grip style and what mouse would fit that best. I'd recommend a Superlight to someone who wants to, you know, just stick with the tried and true, stick with what just works. You know, you're getting I guess a reliable company since they're this big corporate company, and I guess for the enthusiasts out there, the comp players, the rise and grinders at 6 a.m. You'll be 100% fine with either one of these. But if you really want to sink in that extra cash, get the ULX. It is so worth it. Or get a WL mouse, or get the Superlight 2, since that has 4K now. But I guess overall what I'm saying is you could go with any mouse today, and you'll be perfectly fine as long as you put a little bit of research into it, or pick like a Lamzu, Pulsar, WL mouse, Logitech, Razer, Fauna mouse. You can pick any mouse at any budget in one of those kind of areas, and you know you're going to get a good product for the most part. Anyway, I think that's everything I wanted to say. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in my next upload. Peace.